All right. Thank you all for tuning in to WJC LP, right? Thank you for tuning into the show, Money Talks, where all we talk is money. Happy Monday. Today is Monday, March 28, 2022. It is the last Monday of the month, right? The last Monday of the month. What will you do today to achieve your goals today and moving forward? All right, so with that being said, welcome to the show, Money Talks. Sorry for the late start here. Where all we talk is money. My name is Jeff Badu, and I'm a parallel entrepreneur and a wealth multiplier. I'm the founder and CEO of Badu Enterprises, LLC, which is a multinational conglomerate in the finance industry. And what we do is we provide a suite of financial services, including our marquee company, which is Badu Tax Services. And that's the firm that provides tax preparation, tax planning, and tax representation services to individuals and businesses across all 50 states in the U.S. And we also have clients in over 25 countries at the moment. Then we have Badu Investments, LLC, which is our real estate investment company. And what we do is we provide, essentially, we rent out properties, right? Rental properties to individuals, and families as well. All right. We have Badu Life and Health Solutions, LLC, which is our life and health insurance company that provides life and health insurance products and solutions to individuals, families, and small businesses. Then we have, last but not least, the Badu Foundation. That is the company or the organization that provides financial literacy education to the youth ages 6 through 18. And we teach them on topics such as budgeting, saving, investing, and scholarships. My purpose in life is to inspire and support the super hungry to take hold of infinite resources in order to create an abundant lifestyle. With that being said, welcome everyone to the show Money Talks, where all we talk is money. We're streaming live today on Facebook to my left and in Instagram to my right. Thank you everyone for tuning in. By the way, these shows, they are recorded, so you can always rewatch them on Facebook and also IGTV. And then they get posted on my YouTube channel and then eventually to podcasts, the Money Talks Badu Edition podcast. All right, so you can always check that out at any time. Check out my website, jeffbadu.com, the Infinite Resources website, so you can feel free to check out that site at any time. Happy Monday. Let's say A_goes_Z says happy Monday. Absolutely happy Monday. And then let's see. D Lovely Witty says, hi, Jeff. What's going on? If you don't mind liking and sharing this video, and then also tagging a friend or two, right? Tagging a friend or two so that they can listen with you. And then, liking and sharing the video, and then tagging a friend or two so that they can listen with you. Today's topic is real simple. The 5 steps to successfully launching a business. 5 steps to successfully launch a business. So this is actually in my 7 Figures book, which is available on my website, jeffbadu.com. Book is called 7 Figures, How to Become a Millionaire. And it covers the 5 steps to successfully launching a business. So we'll be talking about that tonight. We'll keep the segment short tonight. Apologies for the delay once again. Had some unforeseen things that came up. And so before we get into the topic of 5 steps to successfully launching a business, let's kick it off with the market report. What happened in the markets last week? What are some things that you need to look out for? And how can you position yourself to be successful in this volatile market that we live in today? So let's see. Wall Street closed higher for the 2nd consecutive week, despite several days where stock values seesawed, for lack of a better term. The tech-heavy NASDAQ is composed mainly of technology stocks, led the gainers, right? Led the gainers, followed by the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is composed of the top 500 companies in the United States of America, land of the free, home of the brave. All right. And then also we had the global Dow and then the Dow. The small caps of the Russell 2000 edged lower. Information technology was the worst performing sector, while energy had the biggest gains, right, investors mulled the impact of inflation and tightening monetary policy, aka increased interest rates. All right, while President Joe Biden and NATO allies leveled a new set of sanctions against Russia. All right, so basically there's new sanctions against Russia. Crude oil prices shot higher at the end of the week after reports of a missile strike at a Saudi Aramco facility. All right, Saudi Aramco facility. By the way, prayers out to the Smith family, right? Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith, and also the Rock family, right? Chris Rock. Pray all goes well. No extra tensions flaring or anything like that. If you guys missed it yesterday, let's just say Will Smith delivered a big blow to Chris Rock on national television, right, at the Oscars yesterday. And it's led to a lot of backlash, a lot of discussions, and a lot of memes as well, right? So hopefully, we'll recover from this and we'll be able to shake hands and do whatever is necessary for the betterment of society, right? For the betterment of society. So we'll leave it there. So let's talk about last Monday. Equities began last week in the red. As hawkish, right? Hawkish comments from Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell and escalating crude oil prices weighed on investors. All right. So basically, Jerome Powell came out and made some comments. All right. So that caused the stock market to go down, unfortunately, due to those comments. Last Tuesday, basically stocks closed higher, despite Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell's suggestion that higher interest rate hikes may be needed to mitigate fast rising inflation, right? He said higher interest rate hikes may be needed to mitigate fast rising inflation. I don't think the Fed is thinking straight on this one, but hey, that's the Fed. The Fed does whatever the Fed does. I'm just the guy that delivers this information to you. Equities could not continue the rally last Wednesday. They could not continue the rally last Wednesday, closing in a day in the red. Investors backed away from stocks following news that there were changes in the Ukraine war. The likelihood of two 50-point basis interest rate increases, increases, and weaker than expected new home sales figures. All right, let's talk about last Thursday and what may have been triggered by dip buyers, aka short-term investors or day traders, for lack of a better term. Stocks closed higher last Thursday. So last Thursday, stock market went up higher. And then let's cap it off with last Friday. Last Friday, stocks were mixed. S&P 500 and the global Dow went up 0.5%. The Dow went up 0.4%. Russell 2000 was flat. And then the NASDAQ went down 0.2%. All right. So far this year, the Dow Jones, the stock market is still in the red, by the way. Stock market is still in the red so far this year. They haven't been performing well. It's still, right? It's still in the negatives. But it has gotten better over the past few weeks. The Dow Jones is down 4.06% so far this year. The NASDAQ is down 9.43% so far this year. S&P 500, which is composed of the top 500 companies in the U.S., is down 4.68% so far this year. The Russell 2000 is down 7.45% so far this year. And then the global Dow is down 0.79% this year. Interest rates did go up a few weeks ago. And so interest rates are 0.25 to 5.5% as far as the federal funds target rate, which is the rate that they charge banks to borrow money, basically. And then let's see here. 10-year treasuries are at 2.49%. All right, so what to look forward to this week? This week releases include the latest GDP data, gross domestic product data, consumer spending, price information from the personal income and outlays report, and the employment figures for March, right? Employment figures for March. So a lot of stuff going out this week. With that being said, welcome everyone to the show Money Talks, where all we talk is money. We're streaming live today from the office. And so if you don't mind just dropping in the chat where you're listening from, and then if you don't mind liking and sharing this video so that, we can get more people to be able to listen and value from this information. This is recorded, by the way. This is recorded. So what you can do is you can always rewatch the recording, right? You can always rewatch the recording. Facebook, Instagram, and then also YouTube. This does go on my YouTube channel as well. All right, so today's topic is the 5 steps to successfully launching any small business, right? 5 steps to successfully launching any small business. All right, by the way, this is all covered in my book. It's called 7 Figures. 7 Figures, How to Become a Millionaire. And this is, it's basically a book on my website, jeffbadu.com. All right, so please feel free to get a copy of that book. All proceeds do go to the Badu Foundation to sponsor a scholarship and also some financial literacy materials. All right, so that's just something to keep in mind. Let's see, we got some folks on IG, Mary Candy 06. Let's see, from Chicago, shout out to Chicago. El Marie 9092 from AZ, shout out to Arizona. All right, so with that being said, 5 steps. What are the 5 steps to successfully launching a business? By the way, you should be taking notes as you're listening to this. And we won't keep this segment long at all. So step number 1, find something that you're genuinely passionate about, right? Something that you thoroughly enjoy doing. Something that you don't even mind, like you would do it for free if you weren't necessarily getting paid for it. Like you enjoyed it so much that you'd be willing to do it for free. All right, so really find that thing that you're passionate about. For example, for me, from 2010 through 2016, I was doing taxes for people 100% free. These were family members, these were colleagues, these were associates, right? These were friends, and I was doing taxes for them for free because I wanted to test myself and see, hey, do I thoroughly enjoy this? I wanted to gain the experience necessary to tell folks that, hey, I actually have filed taxes before, right? On a volunteer basis, but I at least have filed. People have gotten their refunds. They've had a great experience. So overall, find something, right? Find something that you're passionate about. Something that you thoroughly enjoy doing and you wouldn't mind getting paid for it, right? So that would be step number 1 in essentially launching a successful business. This can apply to any business. Find something that you're genuinely passionate about, right? And usually this is more so for your main business. It's not really applicable to, like passive income sources like renting out real estate or anything like that. I mean, you should genuinely be passionate about it, but it's not the level of passion that I'm talking here. I'm talking your main business, your bread and butter, basically. And also, please make sure you're good at it too, right? Another reason why I was doing taxes for free from 2010 through 2016 was because I wanted to increase my skill sets. And I felt that in order to do that, I had to give something in return. Say, hey, I'll do your taxes for free. I just want the experience. I'm kind of like an unpaid intern, basically. I want the experience, I want the exposure, and I want the knowledge and to learn what mistakes I'm making in the process and what I need to correct. Let's just say that in 2022, our firm is, on a low end, projecting about $5 million in revenue. And we've been able to grow and expand each and every year, right? Our team, our client base. So that sacrifice that I made between 2010 through 2016 has paid off 1,000-fold, right? Has paid off tremendously and has even expanded into other businesses as well. All right, so find something you're passionate about and you're genuinely good at. That is step number 1. Step number 2, research your industry, right? Research your industry. This is simply Google searches, right? You want to hop on Google. This is maybe you have a platform that someone has recommended to you. YouTube, right? YouTube videos. That's how I learned how to do taxes, by the way. And then you also have mentors, right? You can always reach out to mentors and do some research that way. So for me, when I was in college between 2010 through 2016, I was spending a minimum 1 hour a day working on my business plan, right? 1 hour a day, 365 days a year, sometimes 366, right? So you're talking 365 plus hours invested into growing and developing the business and researching the business. What things was I researching? Number one, what are the competitive advantages in my industry and how can I dominate in my space? Who are the biggest players in the space and what are they doing not only right, but more importantly, what are they doing wrong so that I can use that as leverage, improve upon it, and use that as my competitive advantage. For example, right, they said that there was a huge lack of education among some of these tax preparers or firms. H&R Block, for example, they said that people just didn't felt like they were getting educated in the process of doing their taxes. Well, what somebody's lost, what somebody's disadvantage, turn that into your advantage. So why not you provide a solution to that problem and start educating people when they're doing their taxes? So that's where we came about with the jeffbadu.com website. We have newsletters. We have, webinars at least twice a month. We got a lot of stuff, right? 4 books now. I mean, we overeducate the community. We overeducate our clients because that was the competitive disadvantage of a lot of players in the space. And that we turn into a competitive advantage for Badu Tax Services. By the way, happy tax season. Yes, we are taking on new clients. Please visit badutaxservices.com to get your taxes done. We offer free 15-minute consultations. Or if you say, hey, I just want a price, I want a quote, just shoot us a message. There's a contact us section at the bottom of the website. You can contact us and then feel free to either request a free consultation or a quote. You can actually schedule your consultation directly on the website. All right. So basically, let's go back to step number 2. Research your industry. Understand who the big players are in your space, right? What are the competitive advantages and competitive disadvantages? What are some of the trends that are expected in your industry, not only 5 years from now, but 10 years from now? All right. Do a SWOT analysis, right? By the way, IBIS World, IBIS World offers great industry reports. And if you send me an email to jb@badutaxservices.com, I can accommodate a free IBIS World report for listening live to this discussion today. IBIS World is great. That's how I did research on my industry, the tax preparation services industry. And that's what allowed us to learn, like, hey, this industry is going virtual. We've been virtual since inception, right? So that's how we're able to get ahead of the curve. And you always want to be ahead of the curve. You never want to be behind the curve. And I would say you never even want to be at the curve, right? Because people are already thinking 10 steps ahead of you if you're even at the curve, right? So we were ahead of the curve. We got way ahead of it. And lo and behold, COVID-19 happens. Firms get wiped out. Accountants unfortunately passed away. And all of a sudden you had to have gone virtual. We had done that 5 years before COVID even happened, right? Or 4 years before COVID even happened. So you have to get ahead of the curve. How do we know? We read. We paid attention, right? A lot of things in life is paying attention. If you don't pay attention, you will pay the price, right? Those who become successful, ultra successful, are those who pay attention, who read, who follow details, right? It don't matter how busy you are, whatever it is, dedicate some time to paying attention. It's very, very important. If you don't pay attention now, you'll pay the price later. All right, step 3 is create a business plan. So all the things that you've been researching, the good stuff, put it on paper. As you're researching, put it on paper. If it's not written down, it does not exist, which is also covered in this book right here called Infinite Expansion, How to Infinitely Expand Your Vision of Abundance. This is available on Amazon right now. This talks about the 12 steps to creating an abundant lifestyle. And one of the 12 steps is taking notes anytime you listen to important information. All right. And the part 2 to that book, by the way, is out on Amazon. It's called The Super Hungry 9 Action Steps to Take Hold of Infinite Resources. All right. That's the part 2 to the book. Do not read, I repeat, do not read part 2 before you read part 1. Do it in chronological order. Read part 1, then you go ahead and read part 2. All right. So create a business plan. Basically the business plan for me, it was 2 pages when I was getting started. Literally just 2-page document. Had all the important stuff, right? My target audience, how much we were going to charge customers, our, where our office would be located, the potential name of the company, a budget, right? A brief budget just to show some projections, competitive advantages, right? Just simple stuff, basic stuff. You can also put your mission, your vision, right? Your business plan is basically the stuff that's in your mind on paper. That's all it is. All the research you've done on paper, right? So you do want to make sure you have it written down. If it's not written down, it does not exist. If it is not written down, it does not exist. So please be sure to write it down so that you can recall and retain it. It's very important. This is what we cover in the Infinite Expansion book as well. All right, step number 4, test the business plan. So don't just launch the business without testing it. When Apple comes out with a new iPhone, they have already tested it plenty of times. When they come out with an Apple Watch, they have already tested it plenty of times. So why aren't you doing the same? Don't just launch the business without testing it on, even if it's 1 or 2 people, right? Even if it's 1 or 2 people, you're basically testing your pricing, you're testing your service level, you're testing, you're testing turnaround time. You're basically testing the pulse of the market to see what the market really wants. And if the market doesn't want it, they will not buy it. If the market does not want it, they will not buy it. People only buy things that they value, or at least they should be only buying things that they value. All right, so that's something you really, really want to keep in mind. Test your business plan. Part of the reason why I was doing taxes for free for people from 2010 through 2016 is because as I was developing my business plan, I was testing it out. Now, you certainly don't need to wait 6 whole years to start a business. It just happened that I was in college. I wanted to go on a certain route, right? Got my college degree, bachelor's degree, master's degree, CPA license, and then worked full-time at PricewaterhouseCoopers, PwC, the #1 public accounting firm at the time when I was working there. All right, so you want to test your business plan. By the way, so when it was back in 2016, and actually between 2015 and 2016, when I started working full time for PwC, from about, let's say, 8 a.m. all the way until sometimes like 7 p.m., I would be working at the firm, right? This was busy season. And then when I got home, I would probably, hop in the shower, right? Eat dinner and all that good stuff, work out. I actually wasn't working out that much. I lacked balance at that time. But around between 8 to 10, I would be doing taxes. I would do taxes for people. And then Saturdays, I would spend about 4 hours doing taxes for people. So, I told a client this today, right? This is a serious point. You have to do what you need to do in order to do the things that you want to do. You have to do what you need to do in order to do the things that you want to do. Right? Some people may hear, oh, he's watching Netflix, about 2-3 hours a day. Why? Because I've already done what I have to do the things that I want to do. Right? Especially when you're starting a business. It's not all peaches and cream when you're getting started. It takes grind. It takes grit. It takes guts. Right? It takes heart. It takes resilience. So can you imagine already working 12 hours a day at a public accounting firm, all 8 type people? I'm talking being in a room with people you may not even want to be with for 12 hours. You get home, eat dinner, watch some TV, and then you're doing taxes 2 hours after that, right? Call it lack of balance. Call it whatever you need to, right? And trust me, I'm a big proponent when it comes to balance. But at the time, I was just starting a business. I knew what it could do if I had just put a little bit of time and energy into the business. right? Thank God I don't need to work that much anymore, although I could choose to if I wanted to, all right? Never get it twisted with that when it comes to entrepreneurship. Although you may have gotten to a certain level, you can always choose to go back to grinding, right? Grinding really hard. And trust me, we still grind very hard. I've been at it from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and that's my Monday schedule, right? It slows down on Tuesdays, slows down even more on Fridays, and then it basically Saturday, Sunday pretty much don't necessarily work. Maybe some light email checking. But in the past, we were working Saturdays and Sundays, right? Because we needed to do what we needed to do what we wanted to do. We needed to do what we needed to do in order to do what we wanted to do. It takes grind, right? Starting a business is not easy. It takes grind. It takes hustle. It takes hard work. A lazy mentality is not going to get you a successful business. Trust me. I have not met a single successful entrepreneur today. I have not met a single successful entrepreneur who did not grind through their journey, right? You may hear some people, oh, I'm working 4 hours a week now and this and that. And I mean, it's great, right? It's nice to hear about those stories, but understand what they had to do before they even got to that 4 hour a week point. They had to grind. Elon Musk, the hardest working human being that I honestly have ever read about, right? That I've ever read about. I mean, this is somebody who used to sleep literally in his office. He's someone who I believe to this day, he's he gets out on the factory. He slept in the factories plenty of times. He's gone weeks sleeping in his own factory, right, in the Tesla factory. So he grinds, right? He's basically the most hardworking human being that I've ever read about. Now, the most hardworking individual that I've ever met in my life is a man named William Champion, who's the Chief Operating Officer of Badu Tax Services, the hungriest man on the planet. Actually, not just the hungriest man on the planet, the hungriest person on the planet. That's actually in the dedication of my book, The Super Hungry, right? It's got a lion that essentially is ready to eat. It's a roaring lion, right? The Super Hungry 9 action steps to take hold of infinite resources. This man is a grinder, a hustler, right? Somebody who you definitely want on your team because he will grind, right? He will go out of his way. He will do whatever it takes to do what we need to do in order to do what we want to do. We want to travel. We want to have time off. We want to watch Netflix. We want to chill, right? We want to do all that. But what do you need to do, right? You do what you need to do what you want to do. So understand that me personally, I used to be the guy that was working 70 to 80 hours a week, right? Was it healthy? Absolutely not. But was it worth it? It is. It was, right? Because the fruits of the labor showed up, right? The fruits of the hard work showed up. Do I still grind to this day? Absolutely. Do I need to work 80 hours a week? Absolutely not, right? But I still work 40 hours, right? Sometimes 50, 60 hours by choice, so that's just something that you really want to keep in mind. Yes, we do got the champ. Shout out to William Champion. On Instagram name is Champ William. Please feel free to follow him on IG. Let's see. Desi Horn says the grind never stops. Absolutely. Shout out to Desi. So it never stops, right? The grind absolutely never stops. You got to go hard. You got to hustle. At least starting out, right? Starting out, remember, as you start building a team, as you start delegating, as you start growing, you will become more balanced, right? You should strive for balance. But at the same time, you got to make sure you are grinding, especially when you're starting out in the business, right? Because your business needs you. It needs that attention. It's like a baby, pretty much. You got to give it time and attention for it to grow the way you want it to grow, right? And then maybe your baby can take care of you in the future, all right? So the champ says, success is not given, it is earned. Absolutely, it is earned. You got to got to grind for it. You got to grind for it. All right. I haven't met a single successful person on this planet who did not put in grind, right? There's one common trait among all successful people. They all grinded. They all worked hard, and they all put in the sweat equity, the time that it was needed, so that they can do what they want to do now. All right, so they want to do. And some people still choose to keep going hard. I don't blame them. I mean, we were put on this world to be fruitful, increase, and multiply in numbers. Of course, take dominion, but be fruitful, increase, and multiply. So not even God himself said, slow down, right? He said, keep going at it. Increase, multiply, be fruitful. Increase, multiply, be fruitful. Increase in numbers, multiply. Take dominion, aka take control, right? Have self-control over what you do, but keep going, right? Keep going. So I don't even think retirement is really a thing in the Bible, right? I don't even think retirement is really a thing in the Bible. Now, do you have to work 80 hours a week if you're like 60 years old? Probably want to tone it down just a little bit, right? Probably want to tone it down. Charlie Munger, who's the vice chairman of Berkshire Hathaway, I believe he's 91 years old now. He's still going at it, right? He probably doesn't work as hard as he used to, but he's still going at it because he feels like the moment he stops, he dies, basically, right? He feels like the moment he stops, he dies, all right? And you look at it, all the successful people, even Michael Jordan, who's a retired NBA player, he's still doing business stuff, right? I mean, name one really successful person that has really actually retired. Retired meaning they don't do anything. I haven't really met one. I mean, they're doing something, even if it's charity work, which is still work, by the way, right? Just fun work for them, right? It's fun work. What you may consider real work is fun work for them. And that's why you need to be passionate about what it is you do. When you're passionate about what you do, it does not feel like work anymore, right? When your purpose is divinely telling you to do something and you're doing it, then it no longer feels like work. It feels like you're thoroughly enjoying what it is you do. So I've come to the conclusion that I personally don't want to retire according to the American definition, right? I personally don't want to retire according to the American definition. You're 65, right? You're old, you're wrinkly, and you only have 10 years to enjoy your life. I mean, that's like the American, what's been sold as the American dream, which is horrible, by the way. I mean, that means you go 65 years of your life being miserable. And then now it's 67, actually. They increased it. And they're going to increase it even more to 70 by the time I'm supposed to, quote unquote, retire. All right. Always beef up your retirement funds, right? Make sure you're putting money away. But the concept of retirement to me is when your mind basically dies, right? That's when your mind dies. William says, purpose-driven people never stop. Yeah, we never stop. We never stop. We may not go as hard when we get up there in age. We may not go as hard as we were when we were younger, but we're still going to go pretty hard, right? We're still going to go pretty hard. If anything, we're going to coach and train, right, the future. We're going to put that grind, that grit in coaching and training the future, right? And that's what I personally do nowadays is I'm coaching the future generations and 1,000 more generations that come after that so that they can fulfill not only my purpose, but also God's purpose for us, which is to increase, multiply, be fruitful, right? Increase, multiply, and be fruitful, all right? Abundance is all up and down. All up and down when you read the Bible. There's so many abundance references that it's crazy. All right. Last but not least, so step 4 is test your business plan. Step 5, launch the business. Make the jump. The biggest mistake entrepreneurs make is not launching the business. They get stuck in their corporate job, their 9 to 5 or their 9 to 9 or their 8 to 7, right? Whatever it is nowadays. Launch the business. Actually make the jump. If you don't make the jump, then you're stuck, right? You're literally stuck. Follow your dreams, follow your passion, follow your gut. For me in 2016, when I left PwC to start my own full-time firm, I had zero paying clients. But I made the jump anyway because I had tested my business plan. And I believe it worked. So my gut told me jump, right? My gut told me jump. And I was fed up with PwC. And the firm has gotten to where we are today. And we're only rising, right? We're only rising from here. We're not stopping. Why? Because God himself has laid out a purpose, his purpose for all of humanity, which is be fruitful, multiply, and increase in numbers. Be fruitful, multiply, increase in numbers. When I read that, I mean, it really touched my soul. We're never stopping. We're never stopping. They're like, man, when are you going to slow down? Never. Never. Right? You know, now we are taking it a bit easy, quote unquote, easier nowadays. We are watching Netflix. We are watching Hulu and all that. We are taking some time off. We are going on trips and vacations and all that good stuff. But understand, when we first got started, we had to sacrifice some of these things because we had to do what we needed to do what we now want to do. We have balance now, right? But don't get it twisted. We're not stopping. That's the thing. We're not stopping. We're grinding. You know, that's why the book is called The Super Hungry, 9 Action Steps to Taking Hold of Infinite Resources. The moment you stop, you die. Right? The moment your mind stops, you die. Why does Warren Buffett not want to retire or resign as the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, one of the largest hedge funds in the world? Is because he knows when he stops, he dies. Right? When he stops, he dies. Now, is he working as hard as he was when he was 16 years old? Absolutely not, because he doesn't have the energy to do so. Right? Of course, maintain your health and all that good stuff. But he's not going as hard because there's certain things that are important to him in life. Does that mean he's stopping though? Absolutely not. He has a purpose to fulfill. He has things that he needs to achieve, right? So he's one of my mentors, not because he's still working as almost a 90-year-old man, but he's someone who truly lives within God's purpose, which is to be fruitful, increase, and multiply in numbers. Do not be afraid to do so. Always take dominion, always take control, but at the same time, understand that you shouldn't stop. Like, don't stop. Keep going. You know, take pauses when you need to, but keep going. All right, keep going. So that's the 5 steps to successfully launching a successful business. This is all covered in my book, 7 Figures, How to Become a Millionaire. Step 1, find something that you're passionate about and you're genuinely good at. Step 2, research your industry. Step 3, create a business plan. Step 4, test your business plan. And step 5, last but not least, launch the business. Actually make the jump. You need to jump. You got to jump at some point. When I left PwC, I had a mortgage, right? I was paying $1,200. I think actually no, it's $1,300 a month in the mortgage. That's not even including the HOA fees. I had 0 income that I could rely on when I left. 0 income. But guess what? I made the jump anyway. Why? Because I had done my homework. I had done my research. I followed the 5 steps and I made the jump. I did make the jump earlier than I expected. But when you make the jump, you got to go with your gut. Your gut is going to tell you, right? Your gut will tell you, and your gut is right 99% of the time. Your gut will tell you, make this jump. So I went ahead and made the jump, and ultimately was able to launch the business. Now, along the way, I was able to build passive income, right? Passive income, car rental business, right? Real estate. It's very important. You want to make sure that your finances are nice and straightened out, especially when you're working on your business. I'm someone who's filed bankruptcy, almost filed bankruptcy once, actually twice, because I got myself involved in businesses that I, for lack of a better term, was inexperienced, right? I got screwed over. But I use that experience to avoid getting screwed over again. That $5,000 mistake made me millions of dollars ever since. All right? So with that being said, understand you will make mistakes. Learn from the mistakes and do better from there. Right? So you do need to launch at some point. And I can't tell you when to launch your business. You yourself will know. You got to follow your gut, right? Your gut will tell you, I need to launch this business today. I need to launch this business tomorrow. Your gut will tell you will generally be happy about what you're doing. Will you be scared? Of course you're going to be scared, right? When you crossed the street for the first time, what was going on through your mind? You were scared, of course. You were scared that a car would hit you. You were scared that you're moving too slow on the streets. You were scared that a light would accidentally dysfunction and turn green when it's really red. You'd be scared that an idiot will all of a sudden clobber you off the face of this planet. You were scared. Same thing with business. You will get scared, but the fear goes down. When I first started business, my heart was pounding at a very, very fast rate, right? It was pounding fast, very, very fast. But as time went on, as I got more experience, as more income started coming in the door, the pressure toned down, right? The pressure toned down. And, thanks to a team, right, such as folks like William Champion, thanks to, Desi, for example, thanks to my business coach, Rick and Monique Justice, Andrew Argue, right? All the folks that came around, Grant Cardone, all the people that came around that helped me along this journey made me feel a lot more comfortable. And I said, you know what? I can do this thing. I may be screwing up some things, but I can do this, right? Nobody's perfect. We're all human. We make mistakes. But at the end of the day, one thing that I've learned about business is even if you're making mistakes, keep at it. Keep going, right? Correct your mistakes where you see it, but keep at it. Keep going. Don't stop. Keep at it. Keep going. Do not stop. You can slow down after a certain point once you hit a certain level, but don't stop, though. Do not stop, right? If anything, teach the next generation how to continue running the business. Don't even have to be your kids. It could be other folks. Right? And please make sure you give back to the community. Pay it forward. Make sure that you are donating either your time or your money to a charity or a cause that you care about. Because one thing I've learned in the Bible is that you should be giving back, right? You should be giving back to the causes that you care about because that's what makes this world a better place. Although we know there are people, won't name any names, that are looking to screw it all up and bomb the world, right? So with that being said, definitely appreciate everyone for tuning in. Next Monday, we're back with the Chicago Urban League. We're going to be talking about budgeting. So we'll be starting at 6 p.m. Central instead of 7 p.m. Central next Monday. All right, we'll be in April. We won't be doing a radio show next Monday, but we will be speaking to the Chicago Urban League. We'll be streaming live on Facebook and Instagram as well. That's from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Central. Hopefully you gain something out of this. Check out the book, 7 Figures, How to Become a Millionaire. It's on my website, jeffbadu.com, jeffbadu.com. That's the Infinite Resources website as well. So with that being said, I do want to thank everyone for tuning in. I'm sorry for the late start once again. Had to attend to some business. But we're done in time. It's 7:55 p.m. Central. I got some Red Lobster I need to get ordered. And with that being said, hope you all enjoy the rest of the evening. And if you need any help from me or my team, then please let me know. With that being said, my name is Jeff Badu, and I look forward to continuously and consistently delivering you all some content. Thank you, guys.